What's up, YouTube? Deadpool 2323 here again. Got an interesting haul here. This is actually half of a haul that I got recently. But this is the DC half, and I know I've not really been into DC. I don't really. You're gonna have to forgive my ignorance if I mess up on a few things. I don't know a whole lot about DC, but this guy's collection was pretty good, and I got a few decent things. Basically it's a guy I know who this is all stuff from when he was a kid, and his stuff's been picked over. I've already had one big haul from him before, and he just gives me ridiculously good prices, he's given me a good price because I'm buying it in bulk, and I went through and organized all his stuff. He had about 700 books, and out of the 700 books, I think I bought about 150 to 175 of them for a decent price. So I wanted to start out with this one here, because in my last video I had a one DC comic, and it had a picture of Robin on it. The cover had Robin on it crying, so I figured I ought to start with Superman crying. This is actually it's Legions of Superheroes number 259. This is actually the first comic book titled Legion of Superheroes. The title before this was Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. So it's kind of significant in that it's the first Legion of Superheroes. Oh, and I'm going to go a little faster, I think, because my last video took over half an hour, and I don't want to spend that long on the video. So this is Johnny Thunder number 1. Really clean copy. Black Magic number 1. Most of these books are from the 70s. Some of them are from the 60s. Justice Inc. number 1. Couple things. You notice the spine wear here, and you notice it's bent. It's not actually creasing. It press out. A little crease there, a little crease there. Other than that, pretty good condition. But that leads me to tell you, a lot of these books in this haul are in pretty rough shape. Most of the books are going to be graded between a 3 and a 5. I'm not good at grading. There was a lot of good books that were pretty valuable in his collection that I just passed up on because they had been eaten by silverfish or just absolutely destroyed. So that's unfortunate, but it did happen. Hercules Unbound number 1. The New Adventures of Superboy number 1. I believe when Superboy left this, he started this. Both January. I don't know what year. I'm assuming. So, pretty cool. The next group of, like I said, I don't know a lot about DC. But I saw this one in one of Lightning 2288's videos, where he talks. It's one of the bondage issues, and since he mentioned it, and they are getting kind of pricey, and you can see the spines rolled, and you can see creasing there, and it's kind of, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of hung over there a little bit and bent, so not a great condition. But there was another one of the bondage. It was a really nice, one of the nicer covers, but the whole back, the cover looked good, but when you flip it over, silverfish had eaten into the back. I don't know why they didn't go through the cover, but they had just wormed their way through that whole book, so that just went in the trash, unfortunately. Wonder Woman 213. Oh, by the way, that's Wonder Woman. I'm not exactly sure. 210, 11, somewhere in there. It's Wonder Woman 213. Another one of the what's considered the bondage issues. These next two books actually are the only books that I didn't get from my buddy. I went to an estate sale, and they must have had 5,000 comic books there. And they were asking, I got there late. It was after 1 o'clock. I didn't even know about it. A buddy of mine sent me a text about it, and I couldn't get to it till then. And there were still thousands of comic books. And the lady said, there was some comics in the garage. These were all in the living room. And I went in the garage, and there was like a shelf where there was a bunch of comic books on the shelf. And there was some old lady going through it, actually. And so I was kind of standing there waiting for her because there wasn't a lot of room to get at them. And I didn't have a whole lot of time because I had to go to work that day. So there was no way I was going to go through 500 issues or 5,000 issues of comics. But I happened to look over to my left, and there was a bin, and it looked like it was filled with comics, and it had a top on it. And they'd been open since 8 o'clock that morning, and all the comics were in complete disarray in the living room. But in this bin, they all looked organized and sealed. I go over and open, sure as can be, it's comic books. So I started going through it, and it was mostly Wonder Woman. I did get some other stuff too, but these two issues were in there. The lady said no one had been through that day, so that I was the first one to go in that bin, which I don't know if I believe that, but it's possible. But Wonder Woman 300, and again, these were 75 cents. And then I actually bought this one for two reasons. This is Wonder Woman 329. It's actually the final issue of her first volume, and then I think they started it back up in the 2000s. But this was 1985 when they stopped her first volume. But I just thought the cover was awesome. I mean, for 75 cents, I'm not leaving that behind. That cover is fantastic. And then but those were the only two that I put in this haul that I got from that estate sale. This is the Batman 292. There's literally nothing special about this other than I just thought it was a really cool cover with the Riddler there. Nothing else. But now you're going to get a little taste of what I meant by condition. This is Batman number 206. I love this cover. But you can see, I don't know, you should look at, this is just destroyed, right? So what? I don't even know what you would grade that. A 1.0. You can see the staples are just terrible, and they're rusting. But I love the cover of it. You're talking 12 cents. I don't know what year this is, to be honest with you, but I know anything that's 12 cents is really old. It's, again, 206, and you can see, this is almost 100 issues later, and it's almost tripled the price. So, I love the issue with the cop leading him through the jail. Anyway, but yeah, you're going to see a lot of condition problems on some of these comic books. But I just thought they were cool covers to show. This is Our Army at War. Sergeant Rock's Easy Company and Our Army at War, number 129. Sergeant Rock's first appearance was in issue 93. From what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, you guys. This is basic. Sergeant Rock is basically DC's version of Sergeant Fury or Nick Fury. But his first appearance is ridiculously priced. It's in the thousands. So, but these were some early ones, and honestly, there was a couple other ones, but they really didn't. Covers really weren't good. You can see there's some creasing, and some chipping and, big crease there. But overall, this one is not too bad, and it's the oldest one out of all of them. This is Showcase presents Easy Company's Sergeant Rock, and again, you can see like the corners bent, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get that to stay up in the plastic here, and some tears coming off the staple there, but overall not horrible. And again, 12 cents. This next book's in really bad shape, but I put it in the haul for one reason and one reason only. This is Superman's pal, the new Jimmy Olsen, number 133. To me, this is a very significant piece of DC Comics history. This is the first time Jack Kirby does work for DC. And if you're a Marvel fan, or if you're a comic book fan, really, you should absolutely know and love Jack Kirby, because with Jack Kirby with Stan Lee started Marvel basically, and there's some other guys in there, Ditko and stuff like that, but Jack Kirby was a major player, and I think this is huge that he left Marvel, and prior to me really starting to get into DC a little bit here, I didn't really realize that he went and had a significant career with DC. But he even says Kirby is here. This is his first work, and I think it's a pretty cool cover. It's a biker gang beating up Superman, and I don't quite understand how that would work, but hey, anything's possible. And it's you can just tell it's beat. It's not in great condition. Tell me what comment in my section, in the comment section, guys. Let me know what you think these grades are. I'm still kind of new at grading, and I don't know, I'm thinking these are anywhere from a 2.0 to a 3.0 on these two, and they're complete though. The books are absolutely complete. So I don't know, like I know if it's not complete, it's like a 0.5, but I don't know, maybe a 1.0 for this. I don't know. You guys tell me what you guys think. So the next 4 books, I was really excited that he had in there, and I'm going to try to actually collect this entire volume. Hawkman, number 14. I just love the colors in the title. For a while, DC did this checkering across the top, and I just think that looks really cool. It looks old to me. This book's not in the best condition. The spine's actually pretty good, but it's got some pretty bad creasing there. But the spine's actually pretty good. But I don't know, the coloring. I love how the reds really pop out, and I don't know. I don't know anything about Hawkman, but I think that the covers I've seen are pretty cool, and I want to try and collect this particular Silver Age series. Hawkman number 22. And I really couldn't find anything extremely. The website I use is comicbookrealm.com. And they don't really, the older DC stuff, like there's these little tabs you can click on, contributors and events, and it'll give you like if it's a first appearance or something. For whatever reason, it a lot of times doesn't say what's significant about the book. Hawkman number 24. And this one was my favorite cover of all of them. Hawkman number 25. Now this one's in the worst condition. You can even see like that corner is actually missing there, and this is one I'll definitely want to upgrade for my collection. And when I do, I'll probably get rid of this one. But I love the colors. It kind of reminds me of the Hulk green. I just really like the colors on this one, and yeah, this is one I'm gonna want to upgrade, but I had to throw it in the collection because I just thought it was an awesome cover. Which leads me to the best cover, or one of the best covers of this. My first Neal Adams comic book, ladies and gentlemen. Action Comics number 485. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's a classic Neal Adams. And there's only one problem. There's a tape pull right on the M and the I. And then the S. Now, I'd rather the tape pull be there than anywhere else. If it was anywhere else, I wouldn't have even kept the comic. But Lightning 2288 showed this in one of his, and I thought, man, what an awesome cover. I love the just power it shows of Superman breaking those chains. So, but you know, again, but I mean the spines, fantastic. You know, and you can tell these were stuff that he got later in his life, the old 35-cent, 40-cent ones, because they were all in pretty decent shape. But it was the older ones that really weren't. This is a pretty significant comic book too. Tarzan of the Apes number 207. But it's the first DC issue, so that's technically the first appearance in DC Comics of all these characters. Tarzan, of all of them. What happened was, it was owned by Tarzan. Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan was owned by, I think, this company called Dell, and then they sold the rights or turned into Gold Key. I'm not exactly sure on that. And then Gold Key sold to DC, or sold this title to DC, or however that worked. But they kept up the storyline instead of just starting over. They actually kept up the storyline. So issue 206 was Gold Key. Issue 207, you know, is DC. So, but I thought this was a very significant book in that it's Tarzan's first DC issue. So, and actually, as far as it's concerned, it really trips me up because it looks like it has a spine roll here, but it's not. The spine is actually really, I don't know if you can see that, but the spine is really, that's supposed to be that way. So really, the only problem I really have with this is there's a little rounding right there. All the pages are yellow, and the back covers of all these that are kind of white, are supposed to be white, look dirty as hell. So, I mean, even a book like this that doesn't have a lot of creasing, doesn't have any chipping or any creasing at all, really is still not the best condition book. Actually, this I actually got for 75 cents at that estate sale. And when I bought it, I was stoked. They had a little stack of special issues that they wanted $2 a piece for, but it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and they were closing at 4, and they still had 5 or 6 or 7, I don't remember. And I offered her 75 cents for this one because, again, I saw this. I know it's the first appearance of Killer Frost. I saw it in Lightning 2288. The only thing I didn't notice until I got home, I noticed that there's some creasing here, and I noticed there's a little dent right there. But what I didn't notice is it looked like something chewed right there. And it's only that page, the cover page, and the first inside page that has that. But other than that, pretty. The colors are great. It's clean for the most part. A little bit of a spine roll. You can see it's a little bit of a spine roll. Actually, it's a lot bit of a spine roll. But for 75 cents, I'm not leaving that there. This was one of the books in the haul I got from a buddy here that I just was stoked. I love the cover. It's Weird Western Tales number 14, starring Jonah Hex. So Jonah Hex's first appearance is All-Star Tales number 10. All-Star Westerns number 10. And then at number 12, it turns into Weird Western Tales. So the first 11 of this series is called All-Star Westerns. And then at number 12, it turns into Weird Western Tales. This is number 14. So it's like the 5th appearance of Jonah Hex. And on top of that, his dog dies in this issue. It's really sad. Ironjaw. From what I understand, he seems like, I don't know much about the Jonah Hex character, but in reading up about this particular, because it was selling kind of high online, and I was like, well, what's so special about this? So, I mean, not real high, you know, $20 or so, but I was just trying to figure out what was so special about this. And I guess his dog dies, and it's a pretty good story where the two guys that try to kill him, and because his dog got bit by a rattlesnake, so he couldn't get it saved or whatever. Like the one guy didn't want to die alone, and they were brothers. He killed the one brother, and then the other guy was bitten by a cougar or something that had rabies, so he was going to die alone. And he found him, and he asked him not to. He said he didn't want to die alone. That's all he asked, and he threw his dead brother down and said, "Here, you can die with him," and just walked away. I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, here I keep going on and on. So that was the majority of the haul. I've got 2 more issues to show. This next one I'm pretty stoked to find. Shazam number 28. It's the second appearance of Black Adam, but the first Silver Age appearance. And Black Adam was in a comic book in the Golden Age, and he died in that comic book. He was only in that comic book, so it's technically the second overall appearance, but the first Silver Age. I don't know much about Shazam. This is what I know. They're doing a movie. Black Adam is going to be the main villain. It's going to be played by The Rock, from everything I've read. So I was stoked to get this book. I really think that it's going to go up in price. It's a book you guys should look for, because it's probably going to go up in price. There's some condition issues here. A little bit of a spine roll. Staples don't look great. You can see it's kind of wearing there a little bit. But honestly, there's no creases at all, except for this right here. And the pages are off-white, but out of all the books I got, the last 2 books being the main keys of this haul, they're also the 2 best conditioned books, it seems. And this book is, I can't believe that this book was in this haul. Swamp Thing number 1. Now, everybody considers the House of Secrets Swamp Thing number 1's first appearance, and it is, but this is also considered his first appearance to a lesser degree. It's actually, I think, a different character that becomes the Swamp Thing, but it's like a related character or something. I don't quite understand how that works. I read up on it a little bit. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But this book can get kind of pricey. And, I mean, look at it. It's just beautiful. I mean, seriously, there's a little ding there. A little ding there. And that's it. And the back's just as nice as the front. And it's just so weird. Out of all the books in this collection that were in, I mean, God, guys, there were some books that I just cried about the issues. I mean, he had some pretty good keys that were just like, I mean, they weren't even a point for, they were worthless, you know. They were worthless because of the condition. The silverfish had gotten into them. Or there was 2 or 3 issues of comics that the the staples had actually rusted and had eaten away. And you could see it looked like someone took a lighter and just burned right up, but it was just the staples rusted up, right up the middle of the cover. And there was no staples left. You know, it's not funny, but it just, I can't believe that this book came through, and he bought this, you know, he bought this brand new. I'm now technically the second owner of this book. So, awesome find. It was an awesome haul. I have another half I'm going to show, and then that's all my Marvel stuff. But, so until then, you know, you guys keep hunting for books. You're not going to find anything if you're not looking. And I'm always looking, and I've gotten lucky and run into a few things this month. Next month might be a dry month where I don't run into much. But until then, guys, until I see you next time, happy hunting.